Regarding the part that the doctor is asking about, the calculated column means that I can now create a column and get something called the minimum and maximum. So I can create a calculated column. What does that mean? It means I want to get the average when I select an average column. Select an It will create a column and calculate the average grade for the student. For example, if I have 2 tests and 2 assignments, I have 5 things. In these 5 columns, the student has a grade in each column, and it will give me their average to get the average, minimum, or maximum. For each student, it will give me the minimum in the 5, or the maximum, depending on what I choose. Selecting an average column provides and displays average grades for all students. Dr. Mohammed asks if we can format the report. Formatting means grades in columns, creating a report. Let's take a look here. For each student, I have 5 things. It will give me the minimum in the 5 or the maximum based on choice. This is called a calculated column. When you select an average column, it will perform the task of that column, named average column. Mohammed asks to format and organize the report page. It means having the grades in the form of columns, like here, creating a report. I selected the columns, and they appear as seen in the report in this format. Dr. Mohammed is asking if we can format and organize the report page. Formatting and organizing means having the grades in the form of columns, like here, creating a report. Let's take a look here. No, it appears in this way. Let's see here. The columns. I selected the columns, and they appear in the way you see them, just like you saw in the report, which is this format. Each student has one page with all the details. But regarding the columns you're asking about, you can get them in another way. No, it appears in this way. See here, the columns. I selected the columns, and they appear in the way you see them, just like you saw in the report, which is this format. This format shows that each student has one page with all the details. But regarding the columns you're asking about, you can get them in another way. In another way. The other way, what is it? The other way is not from here, not from creating reports. Don't get it from something called offline work. Offline work. You bring something called download. Offline work, and you will download a complete Excel file, an Excel file in the format you need, with the students, the columns, and the grades, just in the form of an Excel file. Yes, it was an Excel file, and then you would go ahead and download it. You will specify here, it's the same idea. It asks you if you need the entire grading center or just a specific column. Of course, what matters to me is the entire grading center. Then you go to send, click on send, and it will open up. After sending, you click on download. The download will open for you, and it will be saved in your downloads folder on your laptop, or what's called downloads. This file you see here, you will open it, and then you start working with it. You will see it in the format you see here. Of course, the names of the students are here, and each of these columns represents the tests, assignments, and their grade. This part specifically, yes, in Excel, of course, it's better. It's better for you to work with Excel. It is a download that will open with you. It will go to the downloads folder when you are on the laptop, or what is called downloads. It will download this file that you are seeing. This is the file that you are seeing. You will open the file, and you start dealing with what you will see it in the way that you see here. The names of the students are here, and each of these columns represents the tests, assignments, and their grades. For this part, yes, in Excel, it's better, especially in the area of reports. Most of you work in the reporting area. Improve your Excel skills. Why? Because if I'm working and I don't have some experience in Excel, I may struggle. With one step in Excel, I can do work that takes others hours. I can do it in seconds. We're not going to explain Excel, but I'll give you an example. This is an Excel file opened before training. This file contains the names of the students, or your names, for instance. Say this column has 1,000 names, a large number. Especially in the area of reports, work in the reporting area. Improve your Excel skills. Why? Because without Excel experience, I might struggle. One Excel step can do hours of work in seconds. Here is an Excel file opened before training. This file has student names, for instance. Say this column has 1,000 or 2,000 names. To get the first name from this column, look here, I have the full name. Then it tells you to write the column for the first and last name. For example, you would come here and write 5 hours or 10 hours. I can do it in 1 minute or even 1 second. For example, We're not going to explain Excel, but let me give you an example. This is an Excel file I opened before the training. This file contains the names of the students, or your names, for instance. Let's say this column has 1,000 names, which is obviously a large number. In 2000, there are large numbers, and I want this row, this column, to get just the first name. Do you see? I have the full name here, and then it tells you, in the history, I need to write the column for just the first name and a column for just the last name. For example, you would come here and write what? Let's take the example of Ibtihal. This is Ibtihal, and then you will write Ibrahim. You will have to write all the names, like 500 names or something, which is tedious. Excel solves this for you. Click on the cell with Ibtihal and write it here. Stand on it and go to the simple data menu. Go to something called Flash Fill. Flash Fill takes the first name from each and puts it in the column. So we click on Flash Fill. What happens? It brought Ibrahim and placed it here. It brought the names and placed them here. For Dr. Johara, it wrote Doctor first. So you just need to adjust the names first. This is something that helps you a lot. You stand on it and open data menu. Then select Flash Fill. It extracts first names and places them in the column. Observe the result. It placed Ibrahim here. It placed names here. For Dr. Johara, it wrote Doctor first. Adjust names first. This example shows that Excel skills enhance reporting. Look at what happened. What did it do? If you're paying attention, what did it do? It brought Ibrahim and it placed Ibrahim here. It brought names and it placed them here. For example, Dr. Jauhara. It wrote Doctor first. So you just need to adjust the names first. This is something that helps you a lot. Here's an example. Good Excel skills open up reporting. Reports come in Excel, making work efficient. Now, in the grading center, when a student submits an assignment, they receive a confirmation number. Some of his reports are in an Excel file, and you can really feel comfortable working with Excel and get your work done in a very short time. Now, we are working in the grading center. If you remember with me, when a student submits an assignment, we said that the student has something called a confirmation number. A confirmation number that indicates they submitted the assignment. So the system gives them a number. So where do I get this number from? Do you see it in the reports? There's something called receipts of submitted work. The submitted work, and there are receipts, like a receipt. Like a receipt, we tell the student, here's the receipt, you submitted the assignment. You click on receipts of submitted work and start looking. It will show us now. The username contains the transition. Okay, it didn't show me anything here. Let's select not empty, so it shows everything. I mean, if someone has sent something, you see what happened here. It showed me here student 7, which is the student who sent it and submitted an assignment. In group assignment number 2, it was a Word file called assignment 1, and its size was this much. It also shows you the date. It was submitted, and the confirmation number that the student gets when they submit the assignment. He got the confirmation number. The student, of course, needs to get what? Just make sure to zoom in well. Here it is. When the student submits, they also receive this confirmation number. So the student must keep this number. So they can also tell you. So this is called receipts of submitted work. Whether it's here, for example, the student submitted a draft assignment, or an assignment or a task, or this assignment was submitted. Okay, let's look here. There's something called show all. So you can open all the submitted work. All the assignments and tasks are there, as you can see with the dates. You can also check the date. The student mentioned a specific date, and we can see that in the receipts of submitted work. All right. I think that's enough for the grading center, and we can move on.